Hey guys, last week I made a video on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj which talked about his 26 qualities which I wrote down A to Z, but they were in Marathi. So many of my friends requested me that please make this video in English so that we who do not understand Marathi will be able to grasp what the great King Shivaji was. So here we go. A for Agra adventure. Shivaji Maharaj was the king of doing the unexpected. After being put under house arrest by the Mughals, no one expected that he would slip out of there by hiding under a fruit basket, inside a fruit basket. So doing the unexpected is something that Maharaj teaches us. B for Baji Prabhu. This is just one name out of the hundreds of thousands of followers that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj created, who were ready to lay down their life so that the king may live. Many like Tanaji Malusware as well as Netaji Palkar and many other like Pratap Singh Gurjar, they sacrificed their lives so that Shivaji Maharaj could live, because he was that important. So he created that much loyalty amongst his followers. C for Chhatrapati. The emperors and sultans of that era were all outsiders. They had come from outside India. Shivaji Maharaj was the first true Chhatrapati. Chhatrapati in Sanskrit means an emperor. So he was the first emperor of the soil, a son of the soil who became the emperor in native land. Then he had that vision. The D for Duradrishti. Duradrishti, that is, he had a vision. He created the first navy that India can boast of. It was a strong navy and it caused terror in the hearts of many of his enemies. He also knew about Englishmen. He never allowed Englishmen to raise their head when he was in command, because he knew, he had told his people that these Englishmen, these foreigners, then a topikar, they were called topikar, the cab guys, are going to cause trouble in our state, in our country soon. He was E for environmentalist. Many people do not know that Shivaji Maharaj was an environmentalist way ahead of his time. 400 years back, he had policies in his kingdom which prohibited people from cutting green trees, which prohibited his armed forces to ride through standing crops. He used to tell that if you have to make use of any crops as well as of any wood, it has to be made of dried wood, and the farmer should also be compensated. Even in his forts, when he used to build walls, he used to build tanks. The tanks were created at such an angle that they faced minimum sunlight throughout the day, so less evaporation occurred. Some amazing facts that many people don't know. F for father figure. People in his kingdom looked upon him as Mai Baap, that is father figure. People took efforts to make sure that Shivaji Maharaj knew about things as if someone elder in the family. He was reported to like an elder in the family. He was respected like an elder in the family. So he had that kind of a following where people considered him like the eldest in their own family. G for guerrilla warfare. He was the master of guerrilla warfare. He as well as his Sainiks, that is Maulas, they were the masters of guerrilla warfare because they always had to fight with less resources. So surprising and attacking the enemy was the norm of that time, and they were amazing at that. Attacking the enemies when least expected and in the least expected ways. H for Hindavi Swarajya. Shivaji Maharaj always wanted that it should be an inclusive Swarajya where people of all faith, all caste, all creed come together under a Hindavi Swarajya, that is a Swarajya that is a movement which is made of people from the soil, in the soil. Okay, Hindavi Swarajya. Then J, I for initiative. Right at the age of 16, he took the oath at the Raireshwar and he made sure that he first captured the Torna, and then he went on to complete his promise that he made to himself as well as to his people. So he first put himself in the line of action, something that every leader should learn from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. J, he was just and fair. Whether it was an unknown criminal, whether it was a known person, someone related to him, or even his own guru, Shivaji Maharaj was just and fair. He made sure that if someone broke the law, he or she was punished well and within time. The justice was swift. Then K for knowledgeable. He was knowledgeable about so many fields. In Sanskrit is said Chausashta Kala Vidya. So he had all-round knowledge, 360-degree knowledge of so many fields. and he was an amazing, he was the only person in whose darbar there was never Nach Gana. There was no ladies dancing at Shivaji Maharaj's court. That is what something that has set him apart. L for Lal Mahal daring. Aurangzeb had sent his mama to make sure that Shivaji Maharaj was ousted, and he put his entire force into Pune and was staying at the same place where Shivaji Maharaj had spent his childhood. But no one expected that under the guise of Baratis, Shivaji Maharaj and his men would attack the very palace where Shahistar Khan was staying, and he will have to lose 4 of his fingers. So again, daring and hitting the enemy where he will be hurt most. M for mother's respect. Shivaji Maharaj was almost single-handedly raised by Jijamata, Jijabai, and she made sure that whatever whatever was lacking in Maharashtra at that time, self-respect and everything was created by Shivaji Maharaj, and she gave him all the inputs for it. Bayakadu Jala Mantat, the inputs that are there right at a mother's breast and right at her feet was received by Shivaji Maharaj. And for never give up. He, in spite of having to give up 23 forts to Mirza Raje Jai Singh, Shivaji Maharaj, when he escaped from Agra, he made sure that he won all of them back. Never give up. O for opportunity identifier. Whether it is attacking Surat and getting the gold away so that the Maratha Empire could be fed, or it was identifying that navy is required, identifying that Jaladurga, that is forts in the water are required, in the sea are required. Shivaji Maharaj was the master of identifying opportunities, and he used to make sure that they counted. P for patriotism. He was the one who created patriotism in the true sense, and because of him, not one, not two, but thousands and lakhs of his followers made sure that even after he passed away, or his son, the illustrious Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj passed away, the kingdom did not die down. It lived on, the legacy stayed on. Then Q for questioning silly customs. Netaji Palkar was forcibly converted. When he came back as Kuli Khan and he requested that I be taken into my Swadharma, many of the Pandits and Brahmins objected, but Shivaji Maharaj was not going to listen to these silly customs. He said if he wishes to come back and if he wishes to make sure that I am again back in my kingdom in the service of my king, then who is going to stop him? I am going to make sure that he gets converted. So he used to question silly customs. And R for righteousness and R for Raigad. He had the vision that at that time he needs to do something as Bhavya Diva, as huge and amazing as Raigad, where people from across will come and even alliances can be formed just by looking at Raigad and its bazaar pit. The people who visited used to envision that yes, this is the seat of a king who means business, who is going to be lasting long time. S for self-respect. When Aurangzeb made him stand in the last line with the Mandlik Rajas, with the subsidiary kings, Shivaji Maharaj did not take that insult. He did not stand along with the rest of them doing a mudra. He just walked out. Baad mein kya hoga dekha jayega. He made sure that his self-respect was never tarnished. T for treasury management. The kingdom of Maratha was always surrounded by enemies, and so Shivaji Maharaj always had to fight on all fronts, including one from inside. So managing the wealth properly, managing the treasury properly was a very important aspect of his Raj. And he also ensured that he created the coins, the hone, for his own kingdom, so that the self-respect of people also rose because they were using a currency of their own Raja. U for understanding people. He identified leaders, he understood people. He could understand the pulse even without telling him a word. He could notice the change in the atmosphere when a person walked in and would immediately know whether this person is trustworthy or not. So that is something to learn from him. V for visionary, as I already said, he envisioned Swarajya, he envisioned army, he envisioned something that propelled the Peshwas later to take the Bhagwa flag right up to Delhi and beyond. W for women's safety. He was a person who respected women. Everybody knows, and if you do not know, listen to this. When his men conquered Kalyan, they obviously, as was the custom of that time, they took the loot back to Rajgarh. That was the king. That was his Rajdhani then, and there they presented the daughter-in-law of the Subedar of Kalyan. Ki Maharaj, we have brought you this loot. But when he looked at her, the woman was exquisitely beautiful. Shivaji Maharaj uttered these words: that I would also have been born handsome had my mother been as beautiful as you. Now that is something that kings would not have done. We have heard of kings exploiting women, but this was a different kind of king altogether. So that woman was sent back home in a palki with all the ceremony and all the respect that a daughter of the house deserves. तो मैके से उसको ससुराल वापस भेजा with all love and respect. And X for X Factor. Why do you think people did all these things for Shivaji Maharaj? Why do you think he commanded respect? Because he had something called as the X Factor. Everything that he did, right from that 16-year-old boy taking the shapath and right up to going to Delhi and challenging Aurangzeb and coming back, X Factor. And most importantly, when there was nothing in his lineage to suggest that he could become an independent king. His forefathers had served sultans, but he came out as the first Chhatrapati. So that is the X Factor that only Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj carries. And of course, no one after him could claim that. Of course, there have been other kings. Why for Yukti more than Shakti? As I said, the Maratha kingdom always had to fight because of lack of resources, with low resources. But he was the one who made sure that his people thought out of the box thinking, and with that they applied Yukti more than Shakti and defeated enemies who had armies tenfold. So inviting Afzal Khan to Pratapgarh and making sure that he trusted Maharaj so much that he was ready to come meet him alone, and then killing him with his bare hands with those the tiger claws. Unimaginable. Hats off. And said for zeal. Where it's said that unless you have zeal, passion, enthusiasm, you cannot create history. He had zeal for everything, right from the day he took up the sword till the moment he left this earth for a heavenly abode. Shivaji Maharaj was full of zeal and enthusiasm, and that is why even after 400 years he is gone mortally. He is there with us. He is surrounded by his fan following, and we will always make sure that so long as Maharashtra lives, India lives, Shivaji Maharaj and his words stay on. So guys, I am not a historian. Whatever I have done, whatever I have read, based on that I am telling you these stories. Please do not judge me historically. Just if possible, pick up one quality of Shivaji Maharaj and bring it inside your body and soul and mind. That will be a true tribute to the great warrior, to the great king, to the great administrator, to the great human being, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji.